Yes, it is. Thanks, Jitsi, as always. Hello to anyone who could be watching this in the future. You're watching a game that was arranged through the Gauntlet, which is a community on the internet that gets together and plays tabletop role-playing games online. My nose has started to be all stuffy for some reason. Of course, it'll wait until the live stream is on because it is spiteful. Mm. Sorry about that. If you want to check out what the content does, check them out at content-rpg.com. There'll be a link down below in the description. You'll find all the stuff they do at the website, blogs, forums. There's the monthly zine, Codex, which has supplements to existing games and original games in itself. There's also the podcasting network. There's a recent episode of the Gauntlet podcast just came out. There's also Plus One Forward, which is like the all about Power the Apocalypse games. They're talking to Robert Bowl about their newest game, Demi-Humans, which is all about different fantasy creatures surviving in the wake of a civilization now controlled by humans, and it's all about community and trying to build a community between different species, different communities, honestly. Um, Under the weight of human tyranny, which looks really cool. And there's also the Hangouts calendar through which this game's arranged. This is the finale of our month-long look at Girl by Moonlight by Andrew Gillis. It is, as mentioned, a Forged in the Dark game of tragic magical girls trying to figure out who they are. There'll be a link down below to all the details about Girl by Moonlight. Again, we're using the In Darkest Night playset, the tragic magical one, where magical girls are doomed to an inevitable fate, and the only hope they can find is perhaps a sliver, like an inch, a minuscule bit that might be just the one ray of light you find in the world. Okay. Let's reintroduce characters. We finished a mission last time, so it's kind of like so we're gonna do today. So we're gonna run through like a cycle and um, hopefully wrap this all up in one quick. Well, I say quick pace. I know what happens when the GM games into one nice whole. So I'm gonna go from left to right, and the character keeper asks to introduce yourself, pronouns, and your character, and a cool thing that happened to them last time we saw them on screen. So I'll start with yourself, Steven.
Hey there, I'm Steven, he, him, playing Anemone, she, her, and I can promise you that in the end, friendship and love will save the day. I'm playing, I'm playing I'm playing the unlikely hero, and my role is the hopeful ingenue. Last session, I managed to save and give the friend sticker to Petra, whether she wanted me to or not. So we're friends now, definitely.
Yeah, I
We were
think
friends before, but I hadn't put the sticker on her yet.
Oh yeah, no. Before that, she was kind of like friends with you for ulterior reasons, but then she got shot, and you jumped into what is essentially a battle zone to save her. We'll see. We'll see what we'll see what the ramifications of that here in downtime and whatnot. Um, Up next, I'll turn to Rob.
Hi, I'm Rob. I use he, him pronouns, and I am playing Mal Kingdom. She's the daughter of the headmistress at the school here and a former agent of darkness. Last time she was for the most part fighting one-on-one with another agent of darkness and almost had her if other people hadn't interfered. So yeah,
sure you had her. You with your level 2 harm. Yeah, sure. Last but not least, someone who wasn't here last session, but was definitely cool, doing cool things, and last other character. Sabine, tell us about yourself and your
Hi,
character.
I'm Sabine. I use any pronouns. I play Ysidro Pale, who uses he, him pronouns. Ysidro is a time traveler, and he has seen the future and is worried about it, and he's mostly worried about Anemone coming into her own, because that will precipitate catastrophe, of course. So he is trying to steer things into the right direction. He's not sure if he's doing that. As Leandro said, I wasn't here last time, and it was 2 weeks ago that I last played. I played a ton of other games in the meantime, so I'm a bit fuzzy on the details, but I know that I had a disagreement with Anemone, and I also know that I had some sort of encounter with my family, where I failed to impress anyone. But that was okay, because I'm not here to impress my family. I'm here to prevent the catastrophe, or maybe facilitate it. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Yes, and the reason why Ysidro wasn't around last time was because he was chased off by a familiar person from their past, but this present future. Yes, that sentence makes sense. Yeah. Um, so I think we'll kind of like, well, because I don't want to put too much. Actually, no, before we get into the actual play of itself, I should talk about safety first. I should remind ourselves of the tools we're using to make sure that we're having a comfortable time. I remind folks of our lines and veils in the character keeper. Lines are things that won't be crossed, just won't show up in the fiction at all. Veils are things that can happen in fiction, but we're not going to concentrate on them. Like it happens off screen, or we fast forward over them, or getting a sentence or two. That's about it. We're also using the X card for this session. Basically, if we do roll to a scene where folks feel uncomfortable for any reason, and the reason is perfectly fine. In fact, you don't even have to explain what the reason is. And it could be anything about a scene. It could be like either just something small like a name, or it could be just the general tone of the scene, or even just the entire premise of the scene itself. You can say you want to X card that either on our chat or on the roll for a party, or you want to say that on video, you want to make the sign, or you want to just say I want to X card something. I might ask some questions on what's being X carded, but no one gets a question if the card is played. If it's played, we'll respect that. We'll roll back and try something else. And finally, we do have an open door policy. Basically, if folks need to step away from the table for any reason, and again, any reason is fine, whether there's an emergency you need to take care of, or you're more tired than you thought and you want to step away for the session, or you really need to go, you want to call for a break, you need to stretch your legs, or you need to use the toilet or whatever, we're gonna pause the game and accommodate yourself. All right, so bit of cleanup from last time. This is mostly for our returning character, Ysidro. We took another special ability for the series, Troubled Hearts. Each protagonist may add 1+1 action rating to confess, defy, or conceal. So make sure to add that.
I can choose which one, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And these are to your regular ratings, not your transcended.
Yes. Yeah, you don't have access to transcendent stuff until you transform. Yeah, so that's a bit of bookkeeping. The other one is I did roll for Fallout. Just fun. No, it'll be fun. You'll see the consequence of that in downtime. I think I should tell you actually. The Fallout I rolled is an enemy is empowered by darkness. So fun. You've got a few enemies there. Let's see who will be empowered by darkness. Probably not Petra, because you're muted, Stephen.
Funemone, future anemone.
Yeah, well, she is kind of around because she is the one who chased away Ysidro. She was there to observe what was gonna happen, and we did end last session, the one that Sabine you weren't in, with a glimpse of Anemone's future because the time streams were all under strain. So we got a bit of a glimpse there.
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
Oh hell
I can
yeah.
befriend my future self.
Ha! Oh God. Okay. All right. Let's see.
Yeah, that would be a change in the stream. Yeah, that would be nice. Go befriend, Anemone. Go befriend.
Okay, sounds like we have a mission in plan in mind for this. But we're gonna go through the usual routine of how Girl by Moonlight works. Um, Although it's nice that we do have kind of a mission. I'll kind of like lay out like the general idea of what's happening now in the school. There's been an attack, so the school is kind of like under martial law of some sort. The Ysidro's sister Yura has kind of like taken control of the place somewhat. You see more mechanized soldiers kind of like wandering about. This is kind of like in the next day or two. Oh, hold on. I need to open door. I really need to use the toilet suddenly. Sorry, this is very sudden. But I really need to go for like 5 minutes if that's okay. Sorry about that. I did share. I did set out those things for a reason. I'll be back in 5. Feel free to like step away as well. I'm gonna put on some music. Sorry about that, and then we'll probably get into it. Sorry, BRB.
touch your bones. There's nothing inside. Will it always be burning down the walls? Is there a way for me to break? I'm a sharpshooter at Paul's masquerade. I'm in both face and mind, all free for you to draw. I'm a shapeshifter, have no face to show. Please don't take off my mask, my disguise. confession to the end. We have that. I'm a sharpshooter. At post masquerade. Hiding both face and night. Afraid for you to draw.
Hey, sorry about that, folks. My stomach just like roiled there for a moment, but I think I should be fine now. Yeah, I do kind of like, so to wrap back to where we were, I do kind of want to know, like, because again, I know, Sabine, you played like 5 million games in between the last session you were here and now, but like, how you were being chased away by future version of Anemone, which kind of brought about the apocalypse. How did you manage to get away from her?
I think I just jump time streams a lot, and that's why I missed a lot of the excitement, because I came out at a different time than I meant to.
Yeah, he probably like came out like maybe like a day after everything has kind of gone down.
Yeah, great. Yeah, but it's better than being tainted up by future Anemone, because I think she might have taken me out of the game, and that can't happen.
Nah, I can't because you're here right now.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, so that's kind of like the main gist is like, yeah, the school is tense right now because an attack happened. The ground outside the library has kind of been, the library itself has kind of been cordoned off because people were shooting in it. You're seeing Europale wander around a lot more. It's all a bit tense in school. So why don't we go to obligation? Can I just get a snapshot of each character amidst this like tense environment? So to remind folks what obligation is, the first kind of like phase after end cycle play. In the obligation phase, we see the protagonists in their regular lives. They work through the mundane difficulties and oppressions, the ever-present pressure of a hostile world. This gives us like a brief but essential look into the day-to-day struggles of the protagonists and helps connect their mundane existence to the deeper darkness of the world. So yeah, so basically, it's kind of like you just narrate a short scene, and we roll some dice to see how much stress you get from that. So if anyone has an idea of what their obligation looks like at the moment after everything has gone down.
Yeah, I mean, I help out in Miss Har's office, and so I think I'm probably helping take care of Petra through her recovery during this whole thing.
Yeah, I do want to add the small detail that like every time you come by to help out with Petra, she's asleep, or at least pretending to be asleep. You think? You get the feeling that, like, she doesn't want to have an awkward conversation about what happened right now, at the very moment.
But those are the best conversations.
You get your feelings out. I know, yeah, but she's not ready for that yet. Well, we'll see. All right, so you are going to roll your lowest attribute and take stress
They're
equal
all
to
2 now.
Oh, nice. So, to remind us, right, if you roll with sun, your obligation involves scary people or circumstances, or is physically taxing. If moon is rolled, your obligation breaks your heart and drives you to despair. If stars is rolled, your obligation puts you under social pressure or sets off your anxiety. Which one fits
Nope,
most?
I rolled a 6, so I'm feeling pretty good. This is actually very relaxing. Like I care about Petra and I'm caring for her.
Of course. Yeah.
I mean, I have to admit, I like my character is quickly becoming OP just because I keep throwing myself into
You keep getting those 6s. Like, come on. Save some for the rest. Yeah. I think there's probably like when last we see of this scene, like there's a moment where like just like I think Petra, well, she doesn't crumble, like she just recognizes like you do mean the best. and just start making small talk probably, but we'll get to that probably in the downtime phase. Anyone else have an obligation scene they want to like narrate or frame up?
I think I kind of stumble into Yura, who expects me to help her with the whole whatever she's doing right now duties, which I have no clue about because I've been out of touch for a bit. So I'll try to second guess what she wants me to do and maybe stand around looking kind of stern at people who are doing things and mostly ignoring everything that I don't care about reporting anyway. But I can look stern. That I can do.
Okay. Roll your lowest attribute, which is either
Okay.
moon or stars.
Okay, so what does that mean exactly? What does moon or stars
You
mean?
moon means like your obligation is kind of breaks your heart or drives you to despair, and stars is about putting you under social pressure or setting off your anxiety.
Yeah, I think it's stars then.
Cool.
And I want to roll high. Let me guess.
Yes, because you're gonna take 6 stress minus your
Oh.
highest die.
And no, I've rolled a 1, of course.
Of
Because,
course.
Of course. So how much stress do I take? 5.
5. Yeah, and I think what this looks like is like you're just like she didn't know where you were during the attack, and so just assumed you were just not taking it seriously. You were slacking off. You should have been helping. You should have done your duty, but like you were nowhere to be found. Where like so whenever she tells you to do something, it's always the sense of like she gives you far too much instruction, as if like this is what you need to exactly do, and because I can't trust you to do any better, is kind of like the vibe.
Yeah, and it stresses me out because I have to do other stuff which I know and she doesn't, and that's very stressful because I have to do both. The things she tells me and I don't much care about because they won't help at all. Most of them, at least, and the things that I really have to do, like exchange some books in the library or stuff like that. Just weird stuff that might come to play a role later. Who knows?
Maybe. All right. So that's poor Ysidro, just racking up all that stress. What about Mao? What do we see of your obligations?
If I think if there's some lockdown going on, I think I've had quite a few people coming to me looking for things to help them pass the time, like pirated video games, that sort of thing. So I'm just trying to supply the increased demand right now.
Oh yeah, give them all the contraband. Cool. What's your lowest attribute right now?
My lowest is either moon or stars.
Yeah, this sounds like stars as well, because that's about social pressure. I don't think it doesn't feel like being a fixer breaks your heart or drives you to despair, does it?
It depends on how busy I am, maybe.
Yeah, this feels more like you're under like social pressure, or
if I get caught or something.
Yeah. Either way, it's 1d6.
Okay. That was a 2.
Wow, you take 4 stress. Yeah, I think there's just this this lockdown is it's a bit tighter than you expect, for sure. There is quite a bit of demand because again, we've established this world as like material goods is kind of a premium, for sure. So you are run ragged, and I think there's also in the back of your mind that like, your nemesis, so to speak, is now like friends with Anemone. What's up with that?
There's also the fact that I'm walking around with like 2 harms worth of injury still.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's never great to be walking around like that. Okay, so yeah, I think we're fine with the lockdown for now. So now we go into downtime. In our mind, folks, there are 4 actions. You have 2 actions overall, and there are 4 things you can do in downtime. The first one is the social link action, which in the Darkest Night playset is have a disagreement. It's always fun. The next one is help a friend recover. This is how you help them support their healing process. It's interesting that you can't recover yourself. A friend has to do it for you. Interesting how that's framed. And the third one is investigate the darkness, which is gather information, see how what are you investigating when you're rolling. And the last one is work on a long-term project. You set out what you're trying to accomplish. Oh, also all social links are cleared at the end of a mission. So the ones you have, Ysidro, they go back to 0. Yeah, so incentive to use them in play for sure. All right. Anyone has an idea of what they want to do?
Yeah, I think I need to have a disagreement with Anemone. Of course. I mean, everybody wants to have disagreements with her, but I guess it's so easy. I think I have a bad feeling about her friendship with Petra. Like, that will bite us in the ass eventually.
Let me read out the I say have a social link. You describe what the two of you do together for sure. So I think Ysidro, you get to frame, or I guess ask them where you are, and then you get to frame it. When you have a disagreement, pick another protagonist and describe the topic of your discussion. Ask the other player, is this something your character feels strongly about? Then take a moment to play out the disagreement. Each person marks 1 stress on their sheet.
Yay.
Yeah, I feel strongly about that.
I thought you might. Yeah.
Do you mind, Ysidro, framing the scene?
Sure.
Where are you? Where do I mean, I would probably find you where, at the nursery thing, and where I'm trying to catch you after you're leaving. And I'm saying, hey, Anemone, I've missed a bit, I think, for the last few days.
Yes, you did. I'm glad to see that you're back now, though.
Yeah, I heard you're making being friends with Petra.
I am.
You think that's a good idea? All told?
I know that Ysidro, I know that Petri did things to hurt us. I'm not that naive. But if we simply went on fighting with those that hurt us endlessly, wouldn't we just be trapped in the same cycle that ended every city before ours? If there's any way to end this cycle, isn't it through forgiveness?
That is an interesting argument you make there. I do not know if I've heard it before. I think we should roll now, because that's really a good argument.
Cool. What are you? All right. So each person's gonna make the appropriate action roll. Ysidro, what do you think you're rolling with?
I think I'm rolling with Express, because I will try to convince Anemone that maybe forgiveness isn't what we need right now. But I need to see how the roll goes.
Yeah. Anemone, what are you rolling with?
I'm rolling forgive.
Yeah. Cool.
Fair enough. All right. So that's
Oh,
2d6 for both of you.
I've got a 6 and a 3.
Okay, I rolled a 5.
Okay. So the character with the higher result gains 2 links. The character with the lower result gains 1 link. And And if the
And that-
characters feel strongly about the topic, each player marks one additional link.
I don't know if
Uh,
strongly I feel, but I will say, I will conclude my argument with saying, but look, forgiveness is all good, but I think this will always end in betrayal. And if you trust too much, the betrayal will hit you even harder. Just be careful, Anemone. Just be careful.
yeah, and I think your words hit home to a degree because I do have level 1 harm betrayed. uh, and I think as you leave, we sort of see a sort of that same shadowy presence behind Anemone rising up that we saw during our very first session.
Oh, finally, the anime opening is showing up in the in the show itself. Fab.
I mean, we saw the wings. We saw the wings last session.
Oh yeah. God. All right. Let's cut to Mao. Mao, what are you up to?
So it's can't think of a long-term project.
You can investigate. If we fill up that track, we can technically unlock the mission that ends the season, which would be wild. But if you want to, but it's up to you. You can also have a disagreement.
Yeah, I was gonna have a disagreement. I think with Ysidro, because I would quite like to know what the hell they were doing out there. They're supposed to be the one that wants to prevent this dark future, and they were nowhere to be seen last night.
Okay, that's fair. I think he feels quite strongly about that, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where is this happening?
So where would Ysidro be found? Like
wherever Euro has stationed him to control, I don't know, whatever students take from the library, I guess. So he's standing at the door of the library like a ominous shadow and looking at people's books and just allowing them to take whatever they want, basically.
Oh, okay. So I think Mao will approach Ysidro in the library then. Oh, good, you're here now. A bit late, though.
Well,
aren't you supposed to be the time traveler?
I am a time traveler. That's why I'm late.
That makes no fucking sense.
I know that makes no fucking sense, but trust me, Mal, I was running from something really bad. That's why I'm here now and wasn't here earlier. Because I would have brought that with me and that wouldn't have been good.
Something really bad? You can't be a little more specific? Is it going to come back? Is it...
Yeah, it's going to come back eventually if we don't prevent it from coming back. I know that's kind of unclear, but I don't know if I should tell you. I don't know if it's the right move to let you know this. No.
Why not?
Because I don't know what will happen if you know it. What you will do. I can't predict that.
What good is having knowledge of the future if you can't share it with it? If you can't help us out here.
Yeah, I've shared stuff and that really went badly. So I'm a bit about doing that. I'm sorry. It's hard to explain that. I'm not doing it properly, I guess. How to say this the way you understand it, that I don't mean... I don't want that you. I don't want you to do something you shouldn't do because I've said something. I don't know if my saying something would make you do it, and it would be wrong. And I'm confused myself. Okay, I am.
What if you not saying means I go and do something stupid because I didn't know what I should do?
That's why it's so hard, right? And I think we should roll now.
And why do you think I would do something stupid anyway?
I don't mean stupid. I mean wrong.
Wow. Yeah, let's roll. Mal, what are you rolling with?
I think I'm rolling with. What am I I'm trying to, like, I'm expressing myself, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
I think I'm trying to defy, I guess, maybe, or analyze. Could be that I'm analyzing what I should do here. And I'm not stressed, right? Because we have this thing.
Oh yes, both of you marked one.
I'm so stressed.
It's fine. Look, you just we might get to see an eclipse. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
We might.
We might.
Because actually, when you hit 9, you actually have to roll to see if you go into eclipse.
I got a 4.
Okay. I'm rolling 1, I guess.
Mm-hmm. You try to be
I've got a 5. So
nice. So yeah, character high result gains 2 links.
I really hope that Mel would win this.
Yeah.
I mean, I really hope that Anemone would win hers either. So
yeah, how is it? Yeah, how do you want to frame, like? Is it just like maybe Mao just gets fed up?
You're just really good at hurting people's feelings, Ysidro.
Yes, I know.
Oh, right. You don't trust me because I used to be one of them. I thought I'd proved myself by now, but obviously not. And I storm off.
And Ysidro looks after you and breathes and says, "I'm so sorry, Mel, but I think I had to do it."
God. Oh yeah, if the characters feel strongly about the topic, each player marks 1 additional link. I don't know. Do you feel strong about this?
I feel strong about this. Yes.
Smudge.
Well, yeah.
You got so many links. Cool. Okay, cool. Anemone, what's your first downtime action? And you get an extra one because you're special. Well, you have an ability.
Oh, I don't actually anymore.
Oh, you don't? Yeah, because that gets replaced. Ooh,
yeah.
Okay. You're just like everyone else now.
Well, I do have like just increased effect even like in normal mode against Agents of Darkness now.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Okay. Even when you're normal, okay.
But I do have 1 less. I think it's why I have 1 less transcendence dot than everyone else. I can only do 2 times for transcendence because I'm just already good at fighting darkness.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, that makes sense. I really need to fix this sheet. Yeah, but what are you up to?
Yeah, let me think here. I'm gonna help Mal recover.
Ooh. When you help a friend recover, describe how you're supporting their healing process and roll an appropriate action. So yeah, what does this look like?
Let's see. What's Mal's harm?
I believe she got slashed by the scythe or whatever it was that the other magical girl.
Oh yeah, I think actually I bring you into the office and I put you right in the bed next to Petra because I want the 2 of you to make up.
Whoa! What? Oh, it's you,
Kingdom.
Petra.
I kind of look there smiling like placidly at the 2 of you.
There's like in the anime there's like a full 30-second shot of just the 2 of them like staring away, trying to not look at each other.
And then
And-
it's kind of like me just pulling back without me being animated, just smiling placidly, like this was all part of my plan.
I do want to see this roll to see if this plan works, though.
Yeah,
so-
because I feel like I'm trying to finagle this into being a forgive roll.
All right. So yeah, roll an appropriate action. Yeah, forgive. Yeah. 2d6.
I roll a 4, so
Alright.
you mark 3 dots on your recovery track.
Yes, 3 overalls. It's 1 plus your result, and 4 to 5 is two segments. Completing the recovery clock removes all level 1 harm and all other harms reduced. Well, you didn't complete it, did you?
No, it's 3 out of 4.
Okay, so I think because
So
it's
maybe if Ysidro wants to make up for hurting someone's feelings.
No.
Oh, that's a no.
Oh no! The perils of losing of having a tree person watching the dark session, or at least girl by moonlight session. Yeah, I think you want them to make up Anemone, but like
We just spend the whole time snarking at each other, basically.
yeah, you can tell there's a history between the two. That like
I mean, from Anemone's point of view, you are like snarking at each other, which is actually a step up from where you were before.
yeah, which is just sheer contempt. That's fair. All right, cool. We turn back to Ysidro. What's your second downtime action?
I think I will go and investigate the darkness. Because why not? What else am I good for anyway?
Oh, yeah. So when you investigate the darkness, describe how you are seeking information and roll an appropriate action. What are you looking into? And if you have like questions on what happened last session, feel free to like ask them. They're free.
No, I'm looking at the Anemone future thing that can apparently travel back in time, which is not good. And what I want to know is what I can do to prevent her and Anemone meeting, because our Anemone will try to prevent her, and then she probably will just take over. So I need to know how to I need to know how this meeting should come about, because it has at one point it will. Probably can't prevent it, but I want to know the best way to facilitate this.
Cool. All right. So what does this look like in fiction? Like how is Ysidro trying to find this info?
He is just walking about and staring blankly at points in time, just flickering in and out from where he's at and where the future is and where he has to be and what kind of time vortice he's in. Time vector is fine. Time vector is he's at, and sometimes you can see him shaking his head and like, no, that's not wrong. That's totally bullshit. Damn it. And just looking at one point you can see him looking at a coffee pot very critically. Yeah. Yes, that's what it looks like. He's wandering around and looking at stuff.
Cool. What action rating are you rolling with?
I think analyze. This time that has to be analyze, I guess.
Yeah, you search beyond the surface presentation of the world and discover secrets. Hell yeah. So yeah, roll one die, 1d6.
Is there a way I can increase my dice pool?
No, because this is like gather information. Just
Okay.
downtime.
Okay,
So it's not like an action roll.
cool.
So like no harm is gonna come for you. There's no risk.
I've got a 5.
5. All right. So on a 5, we increase the investigation track by +1 plus your result. That's 2. So you increase by 3. You're 1 tick away from filling up investigation track again. We can unlock the mission that ends this entire season. Yeah, it's amazing how quickly that can happen. I need to note that for Andrew. Okay, here's what you find on a 4 to 5. You notice that like time is kind of like straining in this school. partially because partially because you've been jumping through time streams for sure, but like you know how to do it. You're a time traveler. That's kind of like your shtick. You learned well enough, but like someone learned, you don't know how she learned it off you. That even like in the brief moment, like how actually, can I ask like how? What kind of encounters did you have with future Anemone back in the future? God, I didn't even mean to say that movie
Yeah.
title, but like,
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think a lot of those encounters were just the first encounter was probably a pretty straight, okay, this is happening now. Oh gosh, what is happening now? Oh gosh, I got to contain this. I got to fight her, and that was the first encounter. And everything afterwards was mostly me trying to get out of her way. But I usually get away from her by jumping through time, and probably that's where she got some idea about how to do this, or that it was possible to do this.
yeah, and yeah, and for some reason I'm imagining Ysidro having to get back to the past, and then I'm just imagining the Samurai Jack theme, because that is basically his shtick. So yeah, so you want. Can I ask you, you want to prevent this meeting or like figure out if this meeting between the two enemies is happening?
I want to figure out how it would be least catastrophic for it to happen, because I don't think I can prevent it eventually. But there maybe is a way to make it happen that wouldn't end in our whole world being torn apart and setting up the cycle again.
Yeah, I think you look through and like you don't know if like if it's just a trick of the light, but sometimes you kind of feel like you see future Anemone almost like watching you through like these like little holes through time or whatnot. But I think you get the sense that like she is around. Like like, she told you she was there to like witness this happening. But that's what she told you. I think you're getting the sense that like no, this is almost kind of like a loop. For her to like exist, she has to like meet Anemone, for sure. But I think because it's almost kind of like inevitable. I think what you kind of realize what you need to do is like you need to prepare your Anemone for this confrontation. You need to like you need to make sure she knows who she's meeting with.
That's because I'm so great at social, telling people, look what happened to Mel with Mel. Damn it.
It's gonna happen. Like you said, like you can't stop this. Like she is like
You literally have a dot in confess.
I do. I should have used that with Mel, but I didn't. So, yeah, but maybe that's a good vector of attack. I mean, not attack. Talking to people. It's not attacking people. Have to remember that.
You have to remember that, okay?
Ysidro just makes a note in his time traveler's journal.
It's a pretty important note, I guess.
Cool. Yeah. Is that good for 4 to 5? Fab. All right. Let's see who we up next. Mal, what's your second downtime action?
I think I'm gonna investigate.
Cool. What are you investigating?
I'm gonna spy on like in that time that I was forced to be in the same room with Petra. It was like maybe she let slip something or something.
Ooh. Yeah. What action are you rolling with?
Let's see. Express or yeah, I think I'll go with Express.
Yeah, we've described that you were snarking at each other. That makes sense. So yeah, roll one die.
I'll re-roll this one that's here because it can't possibly roll worse than that. 4.
Hey, it's a 4. So well, you're gonna fill the track to its fullest, for sure. So that means we have unlocked the mission that ends that ends the season, which is what are we calling it? Strike at the heart of night. Face the darkness where it is strongest in hopes of disrupting its plans and giving it pause. Yeah, I think she let slip amidst her snark, that like when you last talked to her, she was telling you that like the heart of night was offering you a chance to go back, and she kind of like implies that like the reason why is because they're bringing about the apocalypse quite soon. This is you have a chance to like be on the winning side because it's gonna happen very soon. What happened with Anemone was like step 1, and that step was like calling someone. You don't know who, although Ysidro probably knows. It's calling someone to this school, and things are kind of like primed up. So what you know is like there's some meeting that's going to happen between someone who's very important, and Petra doesn't want to say it's Anemone because Anemone's in the room as well. Like I think there's just like an unguarded moment where like all the forces of darkness are in place, and here's the new bit, because I'm just telling you what I told you, Ysidro, honestly. But here's the new bit that they're like, and I think she kind of says this in like almost kind of like a fearful tone that like it doesn't matter how much the government kind of like locks this place down. They already have one of theirs working for the Heart of Night.
Okay.
Is that okay for
Yep.
4 and 5? And then she goes back to telling you about, I don't know, if your hair sucks or something like that. I don't know, something really petty. You have stringy hair. There we go. She says you have stringy hair. Which is obviously not true looking at the picture of Mal.
I don't know if we described what she looks like.
No, we did not. We don't have to right now. It's fine. It's a weak shot. She got shot in the shoulder. She took the equivalent of level 3 harm.
Yeah.
You don't have level 2. Yeah. Is there anything else you wanted?
Nah, just
joshing. All right, cool. So we have one last downtime action for Anemone. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I'll just finish up the recovery clock for Mal.
Okay. Is this like we don't have to roll for this because he's just gonna fill it up anyway. But is this still the same sort of action, or are you doing something else?
I'm just bandaging her now, and yeah.
Cool. All right. All right. So yeah, it just fills up for sure, and I think so. So Mal, your harm goes down to level 1, and yeah, that's it for downtime. So we do have some time. So what I'm gonna do is like, if any of you have one more scene you want to do between now and the mission, which is because we've not really defined what the mission is, other than strike at the heart of night.
Just curious, like in other Forged in the Dark games, there are ways to like buy another downtime action. Is there anything like that in this? Or
No, I don't think so. It's
If
just
you
not
roll a critical on your obligation roll, you actually get 1 extra downtime, but that's the only way, I think.
okay,
yeah.
because now Mao is feeling bad that she hasn't done anything to help Anemone.
That's
Aw.
okay. You should feel bad, but that's okay.
Oh yeah, when you gather info, you can always ask where's my rival, what they're doing, but they're right there in the same room. So there's no need for that. All right, so before we get into it, I'm gonna ask if like any of you have like one more scene. I'll give you like one more scene each you want to like frame up to like.
I mean, I would talk to Anemone about her future self. That's
You-
if that is not something that would come up in the mission itself. So
Yeah, I think that would be good. I think it'd be good to have the three of you do this. Where would you meet up? Can't be at the library because like it's all locked down by a bunch of soldiers at the moment, or at least soldiers are. There's a lot of soldiers there.
I think I wouldn't do it at the infirmary because Petra shouldn't be there. I don't trust her at all. So maybe somewhere else, cafeteria or something like that.
Maybe in the rooftops. This could be
Rooftops.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'll just send. Yeah. I guess I'll send Amal a message as well because I think it might be interesting if she knows about that as well. I mean, yeah, I know what I said before, but I didn't mean to hurt her. Maybe I was wrong. That's the problem with being a time traveler. You never know if you make the right choices.
Ysidro, what is it that you see in the future that has you so worried for me?
I'm trying to find the right words here because if I use the wrong ones, everything could go very badly. So please, I'm asking you to bear with me. I'm not very good at this, actually. As you might have noticed, Mel, I am not. I'm pretty terrible at talking to people. But I have to, so I'll try. Anemone, I have had an encounter with the person you are going to become, the person that will tear all of this apart. And she has followed me through the time stream. Not very expertly, but she has followed me. And I think that eventually you and her are going to meet. And I don't know what's going to happen then. She will just take you over or make you into herself and then become the same person. But it didn't happen like that the first time, so maybe not. Or maybe the timeline will just explode and the whole world will become shards of itself. That might happen too. Hope not, but it hasn't happened before.
Yeah, I look down in silence for a bit, and then I kind of look back up at you, and I don't know what this power that I have is, Ysidro. And you're right, I don't know how to change the future for the better. And I kind of take your hands in mine. I kind of clasp them together, like in my hands like this. And I kind of say, but I promise, Ysidro, that no matter what happens, I'll never hurt you.
Anemone.
I kind of want them to kiss now.
I look down at the hands and I look up because we're in the darkest timeline, right? So we're not gonna kiss. That would be.
I mean, we can. It would just make it more tragic at the end.
Okay. So
Also,
okay.
Mal is right there. Like, Or did Mao show up?
Mao,
Oh, I thought this was just the two of us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think Sabine said that Ysidro would tell Mao, but not necessarily that they were in the same scene.
Okay,
cool.
then okay, if Mel's not in the scene, then I might just yeah, let's kiss. That's okay. That's
Okay.
interesting. That's interesting. So I will lean down and kiss her very lightly, and then say, "I wish."
Yeah, and
could
I kind of
promise-"
stand on tiptoes to kiss you back.
Yeah, and then I let you go and say very quietly and just to your ear and say, I wish I could promise the same.
Yeah, and that's. I think we can end the scene there.
And that's the thing. Yeah.
Cool. Since Mao didn't get, is there a scene you want to do before we jump to this mission?
I think if Mao knows that the apocalypse is coming, maybe she'll check in on Casey.
Oh yeah, our Veronica Mars of the school. Yeah, where do you usually like find her? I think she finds you because she wants info for sure. Where does she find you?
Probably so it's probably like a spot where I have lunch on the roof.
Yeah, so I think like Robert is having lunch and she like just barges in and like drops down next to you very dramatically, just like
Everything okay there?
Not really. I mean, there's just, you ever have like one of those like weeks where there could be like 7 different things happening and they're all very, very interesting and they're all very worth pursuing. So like you just kind of like stand in place and you're like, oh, I could be doing that, and you put like 2 minutes into that, and you think, oh, I could just be doing that, and you put 2 minutes into that, and then suddenly you're just like, all you've been doing is like, going in circles. You're just standing in place, rotating from one thing to another, and it'd be nice to just have like a singular direction,
Sounds like you don't know how to relax.
I think she kind of gives you a look and like you see like your bandages, whatnot, and she's like, no offense, Mal, but I don't think we share the same idea of how to relax.
Oh, I just had I had a bit of an accident. No big deal.
Bit of an accident. Would this accident be perchance somewhere near the library?
Oh no. Okay. What have you heard? And what?
Well, I heard from a person who heard from another person who heard it from a third person who heard it from another person who heard it from some guards talking that we had. So I'm trying to remember now in this setting. Do we have another word for magical girls? Or is this what she just called them?
Maybe descendants.
Yeah. They heard that some descendants were about, and given how military has kind of overreacted, I mean, come on, why are they're parked in our classes? What's up with that? Given how they've reacted, it's probably not far from the truth, right?
I wouldn't know, but maybe you don't want to get involved in descendant stuff. I mean, that's. I mean, I was just in the library, and this happened. So.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Hold on. What do we mean by this? That, and she points at your bandages. Does not look like this. That looks more like this.
Casey, please let this go.
You do realize, wow, if I let this go, this is just going to be an 8th thing now, and you're not going to help me relax. You're going to make me spin in place again.
How about you help me relax? there's a lot going on. I don't want to. I have one thing, but it's a really, really big thing, and I don't want to be worrying about you while I'm worrying about that.
I think no, we're not gonna do a roll here, but I think she opens her mouth to say like to press her point, but I think she kind of sees it like, are you like tired, worried? Do you look like wound up?
I look tired and kind of like I'm usually, Mal is usually pretty like she's usually got a bit of energy to her. She tries to put on a, I'm happy and snarky sort of front. She just looks kind of glum right now.
Yeah, I think Casey opens her mouth to like press her point and sees that and stops, and I think she kind of lets go of like a sigh that she's holding in, and she says, okay, sure. All right, it won't be an 8th thing, but like you can at least help me up with one of the 7 things." And then she starts talking about like an investigation she's launched on Miss R. Specifically, where the heck did she come from? And she starts laying out like, okay, so here's what I've heard about Miss R. She was this big time government person, but then but you know how government types work. They just go up to like, they just start catering for the rich, and no offense to your mom, but this school ain't rich. It's nice, but it ain't rich. So what's someone like her? And she starts like spelling out like this whole like plot, well, not plot, but like this theory of hers.
And I will, Mal will listen and like maybe try and give some input, but really she just like she just enjoys seeing Casey getting excited about her case. So
All right.
Casey's. I can't believe I just.
It's fine. We don't have to live with that. This is the last session. All right, cool. We've been here for a while. Let's take a break and then we'll do engagement. And we'll do this meeting between the anemones, and I have some fun complications. But like, yeah, let's take 10. Let's come back at the quarter hour mark. So, 15 minutes past. BRB.
The real question to be asked, we have that. I'm a sharpshooter, apples masquerade, hiding both days and night, free for you to draw. I'm a sharpshooter, what else should I be? Please don't take off my mask. Revealing dawn. inside. Will it always be burning down the walls? Is there a way for me to break? I'm a sharpshooter at post masquerade, hiding both face and mind, all free for you to draw. I'm a sharpshooter, have no face
right, looks like everyone's back. I do want to do a quick check-in. How are folks feeling? Everything doing okay? Fab. All right, so basically, what sounds like this mission to strike at the heart of the night is to meet with future apocalyptic Anemone and hope our Anemone doesn't go that way. Befriend her, apparently.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not? Okay, all right, cool. So this sounds like fun. Let's do engagement. So engagement roll lets us cut straight to the action, the heart of whatever is interesting about a given mission. And the mission is to face the darkness where it is strongest in the hope of giving it pause. Disrupting its plans, which does involve Anemone a lot. All right. So there are a number of factors to consider for the engagement roll. You get 1 die for hope, and we go through the resorting factors. First off, is this mission particularly heroic or noble? I mean, yeah, you're not gonna. You're trying to talk her into to finding what her deal is, which is fine. Does the mission's goal or methods reflect the darkness inside our characters? God, no, this is nice. This is nice.
But I mean, the goal like is explicitly like about the darkness inside my character.
No, that's true. That is true. So sorry, taking that die away. So you're still at 1. Is the mission following through on details from the crew's investigation? Yup. Die. Is the darkness well defended here or particularly strong against this? I don't think people have tried talking to future Anemone like this.
Yes, but is it particularly strong?
I mean, if you put 2 anemones in a room, do they cancel each other out? I think she kind of wants this to happen, so she's not so she's she might be kind of strong against this. She kind of she thinks she knows herself. So I'm taking another die. So we're still at 1. Does the mission determine the fate of a friend? Yep. Yeah. Back to 2. Does this connect to your mundane life, or is there something holding you back? No, this is all very much your ridiculous on her life. So you're still at 2. Does the mission's tier exceed the current tier of the investigation track? Nope. It's the exact same tier. All right. Are there any more elements? No, I don't think so. 2 dice. 2 dice is fairly good. So who wants to roll?
Okay, I can give it a roll.
Okay.
And it's a 6.
Of course it is. All right. So this could end very quickly, honestly. You have control then. Where
But
do you
is that a good thing though?
this ending quickly? Well, it depends on how it ends. It depends on how it ends. But okay. So I'm gonna say then that the 3 of you are gonna be in the same place, ready and waiting for this. Where is this meeting gonna happen?
Rooftops.
Oh, I was also gonna thinking somewhere in the ruins, maybe.
Yeah,
Ooh.
ruined rooftop.
Yeah, like some sort of ancient spire sort of thing.
Yes. Yeah. I like that. That's
Cool.
perfect.
All right. So here's kind of like here's the thing I've always asked at my Band of Blades campaign, but like as you like trek down underground, can you give me like a shot of like your demeanor or like what your thoughts are, each of your characters as you like kind of make your way and then as you make your way underground.
I think I'm very quiet. I mean, I'm usually not talkative, but I'm more quiet even now. And my gaze always flicks to Anemone and doesn't dare linger there longer. Like I'm trying to talk myself out of hoping too much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that Anemone is kind of A bit conflicted, a bit uneasy. I think that Ysidro's words about not knowing, like that I don't know how to save everyone, kind of are still haunting me.
I think Mal is like got hands deep in her jacket pockets and is just sort of trying to put on her usual casual, don't give any shits air, but there's definitely a sort of nervous energy there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah, you make your way down, and like, let's paint the scene a bit of like what these undergrounds look like, because we only saw like a glimpse of them last session in that small like underground hallway. But these ruins, I want like a detail from each of you as you like emerge into like kind of like at the top outcropping of like this building that's like just underneath it. You can and what's kind of like a detail of these ruins, like how are they underground, like what's keeping this ceiling above them, like what's the detail you want to like paint about these underground ruins?
I imagine that the stone that forms those ruins is melted, melted and turned to glass halfway. So it's very reflective, and it's also looks almost like waxy, like it's run down and then froze like a melted candle.
Mm-hmm. Mal or Anemone, is there anything you want to add?
I think that like the plants here are growing. Like it almost seems like when we kind of look around, but they're almost dragging down the buildings. If like it's like it looks as if they're sort of almost like pulling them over just at such a slow rate that we can't possibly like see it with our naked eye.
I think there's a sort of a sort of I'm trying to just figure out a word, but it feels like the cavern, like basically the underground area that we're in, is bigger than bigger than it should be. Like the city, the city above, like the ground level, it should be about there, where that's just halfway where that spire is, but the cavern just seems to be yawning upwards.
Nice. Yeah, like almost like compelled by fate, the three of you make your way towards this spire, and yeah, I think you're at the top, and I'm imagining there's like no roof. You're just kind of like on this like top platform, and you can see like the ruins around you, like this like circular kind of platform. And I think you feel this, the time stream kind of like wobbles a bit, and you get that like flickering that almost kind of like denotes that like an agent of darkness is like showing up. But like there's a moment where like the world like flickers and you blink and she's just standing there kind of like in front of the three of you. She's kind of like hands clasped behind her back. She has this like calm sort of intrigue sort of look. Do you want to describe, actually I'll leave it to our current Anemone. What does like future Anemone normal look like?
Well, as he said, there's kind of more uncanniness about her smile. It's too wide, and too toothy, and I think there's also a kind of like little vines and plant life are almost just kind of bursting out of the remains of her uniform, and are kind of like forming this kind of Like if it kind of forms this kind of tentacly silhouette as she moves.
Yeah. For the moment, like the silhouette's kind of like curling around her, but she's just standing there looking at the three of you. And she says, I'd like to think I know how this conversation goes. Because there was a time when I was standing where you are right now, Anemone, and I was told how the future would go about. But Ysidro taught me that time is a bit fungible, so we'll see where we go. And I think obviously things are kind of like tense, but there's a feeling that like it does feel like she's here to like talk for sure. I'm gonna put a clock in the roll for your party. It's an 8-step clock. No, it's only 8. I said only. It's 8. This is Future Anemone's clock. If you fill this, and who knows, it could happen because, as I mentioned, every time I run Forge in the Dark, everyone just rolls 6s. We kind of just win. We'll see. Future Anemone. 8 steps. And I think she kind of like turns like a gaze around where you are, and she says, what do you think happened here? Any one of you could answer. She's directing the question to any of you.
I think a power was unleashed here that destroyed this, all of it, and cut us loose from everywhere else, us and the city and everything.
I think she turns her gaze at the other two. It's like, seems reasonable. What about you, Mal? What do you think happened here?
I think somebody gave up.
I think she gives you like kind of like this rueful sort of smile. Sure. And you, Anemone.
I think a cycle was put into motion here. A cycle that I will take it upon myself for Ysidro, for Mal, for everyone in the city to break.
You say that, and you kind of feel like the darkness kind of curling around this place a bit, and she kind of like gives you like that kind of like toothy smile, and she says, "Now that's some gumption you have there, Anemone. Now tell me, I knew you were gonna take this burden, but you're not the first. We're not the first to go in and think we can break the cycle. What do you think makes us different from everyone else who's failed?"
Hmm.
I will take Anemone's hand. I won't say anything, but I will just take her hand.
All right, so,
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I don't know if we're any different, but I know what I have. I know that I have friendship, I know that I have love, and I know that I can at least try. To do anything else would just be to give in to despair.
All right, that sounds like a
feel like
roll.
I feel like I'm confessing.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, yeah. You exposed in the world of your thoughts and feelings. You're saying that like you don't know what you have other than friendship, love. Cool. So, you're in a controlled position. I'd say this is kind of standard, kinda. Yeah. She's looking at you as if like she's kind of she expects you to say all that. But I do think like she glances when Ysidro takes her hand. Is that an assist, Ysidro?
Yeah,
Right.
sure.
You're gonna take 1 stress.
Yay.
Yeah, and the weird maths thing that I think is also a thing that needs to be resolved is that you could have spent one of your links on me to do it, but it's actually, but you can also spend them to relieve 2 stress. So there's no
Oh.
point to ever spend it on a link to assist.
Oh, I think I will spend one link of my links to relieve stress because I'm really writing it close.
Like
and I
maybe
forgot
the
that I
relieving
could.
stress thing should only be allowed to do during downtime, so that there's
right.
a use for them during a
Yeah.
mission.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Well,
I
the
would
thing
have
is-
done. I
well, the
forgot
thing
No,
is-
that
I
I
was
could
just
do
thinking
that.
as a thing for
Yeah.
like in the rewrite, maybe is something they should consider.
Yeah,
Not now.
yeah. The thing is,
If-
like, you lose all stress anyway after a mission.
Yeah, but I'm at 8
Not
stress.
necessarily,
So
because
I
you
would have.
get stress before a mission begins.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but I would have done it in the
Yeah.
downtime if I had remembered that I could have done
Oh
it.
yeah, and I'm not suggesting we limit it now. I'm just thinking as a thing for rewrite.
Hmm.
You also don't lose any stress if you are in eclipse.
Technically, well, wait.
Because you can leave eclipse. You can be, if you're in eclipse at the end of a mission, you just stay in eclipse until
Yeah.
somebody helps you get out of it.
Yeah. Okay, so either way, you take 1 die from Ysidro's assist. Do you want to push yourself or take a dark bargain?
What's the dark bargain you have to offer? Then we'll see.
It's not just the 4 of you in this place. I think you'll sense another presence.
Sure, that sounds fine.
Yeah, 2
More
dice.
friends.
More friends, yeah. Well, mechanically, what's going to happen is you're going to go into a risky position because of this.
That's fine.
Third party. Okay.
And that's a 6.
That's a 6, of course. So, but it's a standard effect.
It was almost a miss. I had a 2, a 1, and a 3 on my other dice.
Okay, so it's good. All right, so I'm gonna move this clock to 2, and I think like she sees like the 2 of you hold hands, and she kind of says in like a small sort of voice, I guess there's one difference between you and me. I didn't have Ysidro where I came from. But as she says that, suddenly you hear like this. You know that sound when like a radio just kind of like goes off, like just sharp noise, like somewhere in the ruins, and then you hear kind of like voices, kind of like ringing out, and then you hear like suddenly things are kind of like in motion, and you hear like what do like the mechanized soldiers sound like when they start running? It's kind of like that. So that you can tell like you're gonna be joined by.
I imagine like they're really heavy, so like the thudding of their like metal feet on the ground is just like it echoes through the chamber.
Yeah, and I think future Anemone kind of like gives y'all like again that toothy grin and says, some people might say otherwise to what you just said there, Anemone. And as soon as like, and I think four like mechanized soldiers kind of like burst into, I don't know how they get to this far, but they burst into, and as soon as like they burst in, suddenly future Anemone's gone, and you hear just like this electronic digitized sort of voice bark, saying like, "Halt! Unauthorized! You are an unauthorized presence in these ruins. Stand down now, and no harm will be visited upon you." But I think you can feel like, and here's kind of like the notable part. There's like a flickering around them. Last session, so being established, like there's a flickering and a movement in the ground when agents of darkness show up. Kind of like the screen, almost like your vision kind of like flickers. One of them in particular is kind of like exuding this dark energy. I'm gonna turn to Mao. What do you do?
Mal is gonna just clench her fists and transform.
Oh shit! All right, just gonna do it. Yeah. To explain how transcendence works, you just say you do it, and you're now transformed. But you only have as many action rolls as you have in your transcendence track. That's 3 for Ysidro and for Mao, and 2 for Anemone. You already described what your transformation looks like, but just because Sabine wasn't there, could you describe again, Mal?
So the just forms come out of her skin, and she sort of bleeds chlorophyll from where the forms come out, and it flows over her skin and hardens into like epidermis of a plant, basically. But the everything above the neck is still exposed because, like in a previous season, she basically took a blow to the helmet, which shattered the mask.
Hell yeah. I think that's gonna be an invitation for these 4 mech soldiers to open fire at you, but what do you want? What are you doing here as you like transform?
I am going to I'm just going to basically dive down and start laying into them.
Just laying into them. What was your weapon again?
Basically, it was like knives, like daggers, sort of thorny daggers.
Cool. All right. So what are you rolling at? What's the action?
I think I'm rolling Defy.
Cool. You got 3 dice. You have access to that extra die. This is gonna be risky standard, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you wanna? Is anyone assisting? Do the 2 lovebirds there want to get into a fight, or probably not?
I mean, sure. Assist. Let's assist. Yes, I
Yeah,
want
I
to
mean,
assist.
maybe we can treat this as maybe it'd be best because we can get like increased effect if it was a group action, right?
Oh,
Ooh.
cool.
Yeah. Oh wait. Where is that?
Or are there no longer group actions in this?
Oh, they're.
Well, usually that's how I treat group actions in Blades in the Dark games. That
Yeah, I've never treated it like that. So.
Oh, I mean, it's like a way of like handling like how because otherwise one person fighting a gang would be at decreased effect, but like a group of you all working together could fight a. That's just a.
Yeah. So yeah, there's still group actions. I'm reading it.
Yeah,
here.
no, there are still group actions. Just I've never treated it as having increased effect.
Because effectively, it's just one action you're all taking together, rather than like 3 separate actions you're all doing separately.
Yeah, I think I never. Well, wait, this is like minutia. Yeah, is everyone gonna defy then? How
Yeah,
what does
sure.
it look like for everyone else?
Sure.
Sure. Let's go defy them.
What does it look like? Oh,
Should I transcend to do this group action, or can I do it like I'm now?
it's up to you.
I think I'll transcend as well because that's probably the right kind of response for this threat.
I
So,
cannot transcend yet
I'm
because I can only do it when somebody suffers a consequence.
Hmm.
one of us will shortly, I guess. So yeah, I'll go and transcend to my shadowy, Rudy thing. I think I've described it before, what that looks like. It's like a shadow enveloped by roots, and you can see some of the tendrils and branches from those roots bashing out.
All right. So, yeah, group action the same as always. One character leads the action, and all others participating also roll. For every member of the group action that fails, the leader takes 1 stress and use the best result from all contributors. So if anyone just rolls a 6, that means you succeed. So you're rolling Defy. It's risky standard. Yes. Yes.
I feel like I was leading because I basically started the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna roll my 3. No, hang on, submit. That's a 6.
There's a 6.
I got a miss, so mark a stress.
This is
I
fine.
got a 5. I don't know if that's a miss.
No, it's not a miss. It's fine. So I think yeah. So take a stress there, Mal. So I think this kind of like melee happens, and I think what happens is like the other 3 of them kind of get pushed back by like what's Ysidro's weapon again, or what does he fight? What does he fight with?
I think it's mostly the tendrils and tentacle-like branches, the root thingies that he fights with, just lashing out. I don't think he has a weapon per se.
Ooh, yeah. So I think like there is like this kind of there's almost like quick fight between you and these like 4. How is Anemone helping with this?
I think Anemone, as we've established, is sort of preternaturally strong. I think that she actually is like kind of using martial arts on them. Like
Oh,
she is like flipping them over her shoulder with like a martial arts throw.
Yeah, I think yeah, in the middle of this fight, I think I'll give this to Mao because you're the leader of this. Your knife catches like the helmet of one of these mechanized soldiers. You kind of shear off a bit of it, and you see underneath the helmet is Anemone's face as well. And
That's fair.
but that look, we established that one of your enemies
I know.
is that, and she as soon as like the helmet kind of like shears off, you can see like their eyes. There's like this. You can sense kind of like when you had the darkness in your side. That's kind of like what they had. It's kind of like welling up in them as well, and you do that, and they just kind of like give this roar, and they try to like fight back, and you can see that like suddenly like the darkness is almost like leaking from their combat like armor or something, and they just actually what are their pronouns? MK62.
I guess we'll go with she her.
Yeah, I think she just snarls like, "I won't let." Sorry, what'd she say? I won't let Anemone go through this and go through with this. And like the darkness kind of like almost starts leaking from her. And the other 3 are kind of like, wait, what the fuck? The other 3 mechanized soldiers are like they didn't expect this kind of like happen. And you kind of get like this like burst of power from MK62. And I'm going to put down a clock for her as well. She's a 6-step clock. You saw your success give it 1 tick, for sure. Let's see, MK. MK62. It's gonna be with tick. And yeah, you can tell that like she's the heart of the night has kind of like gotten to her. For sure. And like almost like the darkness kind of became over, is almost kind of like transmogrifying the armor she was wearing. And so the only bit you can see of her actually is like part of her face where her eyes are, and you can see like it's correct part of Anemone's face, but it's almost kind of like twisted. It's quite uncanny, honestly. Yeah. Let's see who did the last act. I'm gonna turn to Ysidro because you haven't rolled yet. Technically, what do? You suddenly got this like angry soldier who has Anemone's face.
I think what do we do with her? She is, I think, in the throes of despair right now, because that's what the darkness is, right? So I think I will turn to her, and my voice sounds a bit creaky, I guess, when I'm in my transcended form. But I think I will tell her that I didn't think there was much hope for her, but that maybe Anemone has made me change my mind about the despair that I'm feeling, that maybe if I can overcome that, maybe she can as well. And I want to confess to her.
Ooh.
Yeah, because come on, I'm learning, right?
Yeah. Are you shouting all this out at her?
I'm trying not to shout too loudly, because
yeah, I
that's
guess you're-
kind of it's kind of weird if I'm. No, I'm trying to talk, but the voice is a lot deeper than Ysidro's voice usually is, and has weird harmonies that you can hear almost through your feet.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm just. Oh, you know what? Yeah. That's fine. Oh, hold on. Let me. Sorry, I'm just looking at a strictly mouse transcendent ability. Because mouse transcendent ability means that like once you engage a foe, neither of you may back down until one of you is defeated. That doesn't mean you can't jump in to fight as well. That's kind of what happened last time. Eddie kind of like stole Miles' victory. That doesn't mean you can't do this, but it just means like mechanically.
It does cause them to like at least. I mean, I feel like you could still get an effect from doing confess there.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, yes. That doesn't mean.
I mean, I'm not really attacking her. I'm trying to convince her to stop attacking us.
Yeah. Honestly, this is mostly for Mao. No one can assist them except Anemone in fighting this.
Okay.
And MK, I'll just call her MK because I keep forgetting the number. MK won't back down, but like this will absolutely like help in filling that clock and defeating her. So that's still, so what you're doing is still perfectly fine. Okay.
I mean, I can do something else, and I can try. I could, if that's not really a good move, I could still try to get back the anemone, future anemone. That might help as well, because I guess that's that might be an even better move. That might be an even better move. I can confess to future anemone. And I think that's I like that better. Then Mel can have her moment with MK62, and I can maybe try to confess to future Anemone, and I will shout out to her, and I will shout out across timelines, I guess, a bit, because
you can tell she's still here. She's almost like watching this.
And I will confess to her that I hadn't seen much cause for hope, but maybe Anemone is right, and maybe things have changed, and maybe she should come back and talk to us, because I think that this is maybe the time we get it right, and that I have never felt much hope, but I have to let go of my own despair, and if I can, then maybe she can as well.
Cool. This is going to be a risky. This confess. You got 2 dice. This is risky standard for sure. Do you want to push yourself or take a dark bargain?
Push myself means I get stressed, right?
Yes, that's 2 stress.
What kind of dark bargain could I take?
I'm gonna put another clock on the field, And the clock is soldier reinforcements, because you'll hear one of the three start calling, bringing in another party into this.
Oh
Specifically,
no.
they're calling your sister.
Oh no. Okay, yeah, I love that. I'm taking that. So I rolled 3 dice, right?
You actually get 2 dice from that dark bargain because of the
Oh,
ability.
nice. And
special
wait, then come on, no.
So, yeah.
I go away dice.
So you pushed. Oh yeah, no, you took a dark bargain. So 1,
Yeah.
2, 4.
Got
You have
4
4 dice.
dice, and I have to submit them now. Let's see how that goes. Submit. Yeah, well, I've got 2 5s, so
Yeah, you got 5. 5's still pretty good.
not too bad.
All right, let me make that cock because that was a bargain. So,
Mhm.
your reinforcement. I'm gonna call it that. Okay, so here's the consequence. You call out to future anemone, and you feel for a moment like time sort of like shiver, and suddenly you start seeing like this cascade of visions. You start seeing moments of this cycle going on and on and on. This a city rises up, gets too much, gets too corrupt, too dark, and soon the people it's put as its protectors eventually bring it down. It keeps going and going. And then future anemone says, like, when you left us and I figured out how you do the thing you do, I got curious. I decided to take a peek at the very start when this all happened, when this pact was made. Do you remember that? And you know what the pact, what I kind of find out? I found out that everything is working exactly as it should be. This is just how things work. The city gets too much. It gets too. It starts working for the benefit of the few and not the many, and it needs to be cleansed. But the thing is, that's a horrible process. That's terrible. So when I took this burden, as your anemone saying, I took it so that no one else would have to do this. So at least so you, Ysidro, you, Mal, you can, well, your hands will be bloodier than mine. I'm going to add 2 ticks to the anemone cock because that is still a success. 5 is still a success, but you're going to take level 2 harm. Despondent.
Yes, thank you.
You can resist that if you want.
I'm gonna protect you from that.
Oh, shit.
I think Anemone reaches her hands out from behind you and kind of pulling you back from all these visions of the future. We see Anemone kind of wrap you in a hug and kind of try to pull you away from it and back into the present.
I love it. Yeah, go ahead.
Cool.
So what am I? Well, it's 2 no matter what for me because I have 2 in everything.
2 in everything. Yeah. All right. So yeah. Roll roll 2 dice.
So I'm getting 2 stress, and you know what? I am going to activate my transcendence now.
Ooh, hell yeah! All right. What does this look?
I've been keeping it close to the chest, what my transcendence ability is, but we kind of see the wings again burst from me, like these plant-like wings. And I imagine actually it catches up Ysidro in it as well. Like we see the cocoon form around me, and then it kind of bursts forth, like a tree grows from it, and we then kind of flash out to a distant shot of the tower. and the tree grows up, and we see it pull apart into a giant woman. And that's in fact my ability, giant woman.
Of course, you took giant woman. I'm gonna read that because that's from the Harmony playbook.
Yep.
When you transcend, your scale increases and your effect level changes accordingly, where size is a factor.
Yeah, and I think we now see like Ysidro is like curled up in my palm, because if that's okay with you, Ysidro. At the culmination of the transformation, and
Well,
I'm
maybe-
taking.
Maybe
What
not
was that?
maybe not
Yeah,
curled
curled
up,
up.
maybe just growing out of the palm,
Yeah.
like these roots are coming out of the palm and growing into a citrus shape back.
Yeah, and my transcendent name is Yggdrasil.
Of course. Oh
Because
yeah.
there always needs to be Yggdrasil in an anime.
Of course. Yeah, of course there is. Okay. Oh, don't forget, Ysidro, to mark a box in Transcendence, because you do that for every time you make an action roll while Transcendent. Well, that's happening. Mal, what's up with you? I think you've got this angry Anemone look-alike who's kind of screaming at your face because you're in her way.
Yeah, I kind of had something I wanted to say to Future Anemone, but I guess I'm a bit preoccupied right now.
You can try. Your effect's going to be lower because you've got this. You've got this angry. You've engaged someone,
Mhm.
and yeah. So Ysidro, you don't take harm because Anemone took it for you, and then they resisted.
Well, maybe I'll continue the fight, and then we'll see if I have a chance to have a chance to talk later.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah. Future Anemone's cock is half full. You're like 4 ticks away from like convincing her that you have a shot at breaking the cycle.
Yeah.
And then they just turn into a giant woman.
So I'm gonna just I'm continuing to fight like the what is it the name of the
MK.
MK and basically I bring both my daggers together, and they're sort of wood wood with the strength of steel sort of thing, basically, and the wood of the two daggers like grows and twists together into a sword, and I'm just gonna like
Yeah. All right. Cool. Risky is still risky. Let's see. Let's see. Once you engage a foe, you may back down to one of you's defeated. Only a rival can assist you. I'm gonna say this is happening right before you turn into a giant woman. It's kind of like fight, but Anemone, you can totally assist. Once you've kind of like made your transformation as Miles doing this fight, because like MK, who's the third Anemone alike in this scene. What's up with that? Is kind of like back now. I think she's shouting something along the lines at you, Mao, that like you're not good enough to protect Anemone. You're not good enough to stop what's going to happen, I think is what she's shouting at you, Mao.
I'm gonna push to add another die.
Okay. Okay. Ooh, close to eclipsing. You're rolling Defy, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is still a risky standard. For sure.
So I will be rolling 4d6.
Okay, that's pretty good.
So my stress goes up to 7. Oh, it's 2 stress actually, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
So it's 8. And let's roll.
Four is still pretty good. No, it's still a success. So you feel 2 ticks on MK's cock. So she's also halfway through, but she's only 6 steps. So yeah, I think you're sword like catch. I think she kind of like brings her arms down, and her arms like encased in like this armor it's kind of like almost cracking from like the waves of like darkness. And what actually, you tell me this, Mal, because you used to fight with the darkness. What does it look like when someone's empowered and they're fighting with the dark?
I think it looks like sort of like there's sort of green veins in their face sort of thing.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just looking at the abilities. All right. So two things happen here. One, again, she just like shouts that. I think she shouts this, and then she's gonna be proven wrong. But then we turn to a giant woman. She shouts like. Do you think you have what it takes to stop what's coming? They told me what's going to happen to Anemone, and I'm not going to let that happen, and you're in my way. As she like tries to reach for like your face. As she's shouting that, you hear like on the radio, like again, the other two are calling for like, you gotta call for backup. We've got anomalies here. And the era reinforcement is going to advance by 2 ticks. I'm going to say right now, Ysidro, you have an ability that can stop this.
Yeah, but I won't right now. I will stop it later because that makes more sense.
Okay.
It's more dramatic anyway.
Okay. I'll add 2 ticks to that. Yeah, but I think those are kind of like the main consequences. Mal, do you have anything to say to what MK is saying?
You're a moron. Yeah, pretty much. Don't you see? They're using you. You're helping them make this happen.
I think she's actually holding your sword with her hands. She's kind of like blocking it, like, and you can see like because her hands are all coated in like metal and like shadows, whatnot. And yeah, then Anemone turns into a giant woman. Anemone, what do? You're several feet large.
Yeah.
What's your plan? Your future self is still around here. You can see the person who claims to love you but also hates you because of that is here attacking Mal. What do you do?
I will. I kind of say this. And I'm kind of coming out in like this rather booming voice because I am a giant. I am giant now, but I will defy. I will defy fate. I will take on the burden of defying history. And yeah, I'm rolling with defy to try to convince this other me.
Yeah. I think you're still in a risky position, but yeah, the booming voice really helps.
Can I assist here?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What does it look like when you assist?
What it looks like when I assist is mostly I think it's by lending kind of moral support to Anemone and just squeezing her hand with my
You just send some good vibes through the. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Through the.
I just send some good vibes, like you go, girl. We have a chance here.
God. All right. It's gonna be risky. Oh, go ahead.
That means I mark stress, right?
Yes, 1 stress or spend a link.
I think I will mark stress here.
Okay. All right. So, Anemone,
And
this is gonna be
I'll
risky.
mark stress.
Okay.
So I'm rolling 4.
Hell yeah. Risky, great. The voice really helps.
Yep, I got a 6.
Oh hell yeah. Geez. The future Anemone is like 1 tick away now. You're nearly there. I think. Okay. All right. What does this look like? I think time stops. I think Mal, you're caught in this battle to the death, and then time just kind of stops for everyone here except for the three of you. And God, I think sorry, the idea future anemone is so big. Oh no, current anemone is so big. I don't think future anemone ever got to that. And I think she pops into view again, and she's back on the platform. She's standing next to you, Mal. She's looking up at you, Anemone. And she doesn't look like she's smiling, not in that uncanny sense, but more in the more like a kid just being taken to a fairground sort of sense. Just like, what? And I think she says this burden's going to crush you, you know. It's
And I
not
say she's not the only one who bears it.
I think she gestures at kind of the roof around you. And she says, I try to figure out how she'd say it. I've said those words, I've meant it back then. It won't just crush you, it'll crush everyone around you. An entire city's worth of despair on your shoulders. You can be as big and expansive and as you can try to save as much as you can, but you won't be able to save everyone. Can you do that? Can you go forward knowing all that? She's directing this to all of you.
I will go forward knowing that. I will save what I can. There is nowhere to go but into the future.
All right. What are you rolling? You just get one success. You're gonna finish this mission. You're gonna fill that clock.
I guess confess. I guess, yeah.
Does anyone want to help? Mal, do you want to help? I think it's still risky. Well, it doesn't matter. Well, the effect doesn't matter because again, if you get a success, you get a tick. I'm gonna say this is standard now because you did the big booming voice, but it's anyone assisting. Do you want to assist or?
I'll assist.
Ooh, what do you do or say?
I can't believe they thought they. I can't believe I was jealous of you. This isn't strength. You just gave in. You just all of your convictions. You just sacrificed them for what?
Did I?
I'm talking to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're talking. Yeah. I assume Mal was talking to the other anemone. This is an assist. All right, so take one stress. Yeah, that brings you up to a 9. We'll roll for Eclipse after this. I don't know. This could be a setup for some future season, for sure. Yeah. So, Anemone, are you gonna push yourself or take a?
Yeah, I did. I pushed myself.
Okay, cool. So. Confess. 1, 2, 3. You have 5 dice. There is no
I think
way.
just 4.
Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, you didn't take the bargain. I don't know why I was thinking. Wait, hold on. Oh yeah, just 4. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, 4.
Yeah, I got a 6.
Yeah, well, here you go. Yeah. So I think I think Jesus, wow. I think faced with all that, uh okay, trying to figure out how this looks. Because yeah, you're gonna fill the clock. Let me do that first. And also, this is all mechanical stuff, but mark the transcendence box, Anemone. Um, I think she sees. I think it's what Mao's kind of like outburst, kind of like strikes her, and she just kind of like has to laugh at that. But it's not like a sad sort of laugh, you know. It's not a sad or manic or angry sort of laugh. It's the kind of laugh that you hear, kind of like it's the kind of laugh you make after like you've heard something you haven't heard in a long time, something you've forgotten about, and I think she just kind of says like, I guess I have forgotten that much. If a city would fall on you, Mal, you probably just give it the finger, right?
Sure, why not?
I think I'll give you. I think she kind of says that, and I think she will just kind of like go. Yeah, I kind of want to give the latitude to the three of you to like wrap up this scene because like you completed the mission, and ooh, that's the thing. Like I don't know if she has a monologue in her.
Okay. I it seemed like you were setting up for a monologue, but
No. What's your idea, Steven?
so I kind of, as I kind of return from my transcendent form, I kind of have the idea that we have to some degree averted our fate. Maybe not entirely, but to some degree. And I think as she kind of looks sadly on us, as we kind of pull together again, we sort of see her wilt and fade away like leaves, because in averting the future, we've stopped her from existing.
Yeah, that seems logical. She can be if she's never come to be.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not like we've saved myself and her, but like saving her means that she can't actually exist.
Yeah, well, saving you means she
Yeah.
can't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you hadn't gotten a 6, I would have added like a horrible parting gift. Actually, no, she does give you like one last gift. I think she sees herself fading, and she says, and I think she kind of like reaches for your hand, like for your hand, Anemone.
I guess
I
I reached out.
And she says, if you don't mind any more burdens, and given that I'm you, I know you won't mind. Here's what not to do. And when you hold hands, you get like for a brief second, you kind of like get like a flash of everything she went through.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll say that's you'll probably spend the next season unpicking through all that.
Yeah. And I think kind of the image we end on of that is like, as I hold her hand, like we have the image of the hands interlocked, and then the one hand kind of like falling apart into like leaves that kind of blow away and disappear on the wind.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think we'll save this for epilogues because I'm interested in how this works, how this changes like what the time traveler now has to avert, because you've done it. But yeah,
I think I'm gone.
Oh,
because I've done it. That this is
shit.
not my timeline anymore. So
okay, all right.
Along with future Anemone.
my
Oh
God.
man! And this time, now you return. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, because I'm from her timeline, and if she's gone, I'm gone.
Oh
just-
shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
But your character returns next season as this timeline's Ysidro, who has no memory of anything that happened with us, including that kiss with Anemone.
Yes. Yeah, that's okay. But I think this one is gone. It's just when you turn to him, look at him, because he stopped transcending, but the shadows just grew deeper around him, and when they dissolve, then there's nothing there. He's just gone.
Oh my god. Okay. I think this season ends with like the Mal and Anemone just kind of like turning like, all right, yeah, we did it. While time's kind of like still kind of like stopped, and you're like the two of you are like, we gotta get out of here before Yura's forces come in. You turn to Ysidro, and he's just gone. And
But I'm going to reset the Euro clock before I go. So,
okay,
so she's
fine.
not coming.
Yeah, no, she's not coming. I think, yeah, that's the final shot we get of this season of this anime. I want as like epilogues. I've done this with like other stuff. Can we get like a shot of like what do we see of the three of you in the next season? Like, what's like an intriguing? Here's what happens next time on this season. Like, what's like a foreshadowing of what's to come? If that's okay with everyone. Because yeah, you've averted one dark timeline, but as Future Anemone says, that burden's still going to be there. You know what the pact is now, which is that it's working as intended. It's bringing down. It's like a forest fire.
I have an idea for
Ooh.
what we see Ysidro doing. We see Ysidro sitting in something like an orrery, like with all these orreries and stuff, and he's turning things like clocks and moving parts, looking at stuff and thinking, yeah, you can hear him say, yes, that was not too bad. I can work with that timeline. Let's see what happens next.
Oh my god. Oh my god. God damn it. God. Mal, Anemone, you have an idea?
Yeah, I'm brainstorming.
Is this like we're seeing clips of next season?
Yes, yeah, that's kind of like the vibe.
I think we see Mal in a fight with another magical girl, and their face is revealed, and it seems like it's Casey.
Oh god. Oh my god.
Yeah, I guess we kind of see Anemone in her giant form, and she's facing in this kind of wrecked part of the city that we live in. There, she's shouting, "I won't let you hurt any more people." And there's like another like giant tree creature that she is facing down.
And with that tease, which we'll never get, I'm gonna wrap up this series of Girl by Moonlight. Jesus goddamn Christ, you people! Don't say goodbye yet. I'm not stopping the stream. I always want to say on stream that just want to shout out how fantastic these players are as always. Just like, just very willing to just like come up with like ideas to just. Oh my god, it's just so much. These folks are great. Yeah, that's all I have to say. I'm gonna stop this live stream now. Thanks very much for everyone who watched. Girl by Moonlight. Check out all the stuff down there. Yeah, I'll stop the live stream. Prepare for creepy voice.